Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Coming up with the Season 1 Reloaded update here in MWIII and Warzone, we are of course going to see a major meta update. This is going to include plenty of different buffs and nerfs for various different weapons within the Warzone meta, but also the addition of some new weapons as well throughout the course of the remainder of Season 1, starting obviously first with Season 1 Reloaded. So today we're going over everything we currently know about the weapons update that's already been confirmed, but also some of what to expect with the upcoming changes as well. So as we get into it, if you enjoy the video at any point, do me a favor, drop a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're always up to date with COD, this is your one-stop shop, so feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So first things first, as mentioned, we have a couple of guaranteed, already confirmed updates for the Season 1 Reloaded weapons update in the form of 2 new weapons debuting. Now, it's not been confirmed if they're both going to be dropping right away on day 1 of Season 1 Reloaded, or if it'll be more spaced out. One drops on day 1 of Season 1 Reloaded, and then, one a week later. For that, we're just going to have to wait and see. But initially, the first of the 2 weapons is the HRM9, and this is going to be a brand new SMG, obviously available in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone as well. Also, I believe Call of Duty Mobile. But anyways, this is how they describe the HRM9. A light yet stable 9mm SMG for close quarters combat and putting down enemies quickly. Sporting a high fire rate and excellent handling and mobility, the HRM9 is the perfect fit for aggressive run and gun playstyles. Aim down sights for precise fire or enter tac stance and run circles around your enemies. Use Gunsmith to enhance the weapon's mid-range capabilities, improve its close quarters performance, or a combination of the two. So basically, this description makes it seem like it's going to be an alternative to, say, the ISO 9mm or the Wasp Swarm. A high fire rate, super agile, super lightweight SMG. Obviously, that's kind of dominating the close range meta right now, at least the Swarm is. So we'll talk about that a bit in a minute, but just based off the description, that's the initial vibe I get from the HRM9. And then as far as actually acquiring this goes, as always, all of the new weapons that we see within Warzone and whatnot are completely free, but in order to actually access the HRM9, you are going to have to complete an armory challenge. So it'll be one of those where it requires, 0 out of 3 to unlock, or 0 out of 5, similar to the other armory exclusive content that we've seen throughout the year. And for this, it just depends on the mode that you're playing. In multiplayer, some of the daily challenges, those all count towards the armory there. Just simply winning a match also would count towards that as well. In zombies, completing contracts counts for that. And then in Warzone, simply outlasting other squads counts for that as well. So overall, the armory challenges are pretty straightforward. You usually only takes like a couple of games to unlock whatever it is you're trying to get through the armory. So that'll likely be the case here with the HRM9. But personally, very excited to see the SMG meta spiced up a little bit, because so far it's been fairly one-dimensional, with the Swarm being that go-to option. Now, the second of our 2 new weapons is known as the TAC Evolver, and this is another new LMG, another TAC weapon platform gun as well. And here's how they describe this one. An advanced multi-caliber LMG capable of firing 7.62 or 5.56 with minimal adjustments to the weapon, versatile and exceptionally lethal in the right hands. So you're going to have various different ammo types you can run with this, which that in and of itself is probably going to change how the weapon behaves in terms of playstyle. If you want more of an aggressive build, you run the 5.56 ammo. If you're more, post up and just try and fry over range, 7.62 could be pretty useful for that. They also go on to say this all-new light machine gun can take down both infantry and artillery, whichever chooses to cross its path. A wide variety of attachments are available via the gunsmith, allowing you to tailor the TAC Evolver to any playstyle. So it seems like it's going to be another very versatile LMG. We already have several of these in the game already. Obviously, the Peel 'em Yacht with the conversion kit really acts like an LMG AR hybrid. The Bruin obviously does as well. And even the Eradicator can be built like that too. Drop the iron sights there and run around as more of like an AR LMG hybrid. So it seems like it's going to fit more into that class, which is good news if you're an LMG fan, because those aforementioned LMGs all are kind of dominating the long range meta now in terms of fully auto guns. So this is one that could absolutely slide into the meta as well. Now, as far as unlocking the TAC Evolver goes, this one is going to be unlocked through a weekly challenge. So just like the TAC Eradicator was unlocked through this, you're going to have to go through and complete any 5 weekly challenges between zombies, multiplayer, and battle royale. Most of them this year have been pretty straightforward. It's like get 20 kills with an LMG while aiming down sights, or complete a certain amount of contracts in Warzone, or open up this many chests in this part of a Warzone map. They're all pretty straightforward, and the level of difficulty is not something to be concerned about there. Some of them can just be like a little bit more tedious than others, but overall the entry barrier for unlocking the Evolver and then also the HRM9 doesn't seem too bad. Now, as far as the TAC Evolver goes, we're not sure if it's going to be this upcoming week's weekly challenges or perhaps next week's weekly challenges where this will become available. Obviously, the inverse is going to have a new aftermarket part available as well, and sort of segueing into that in the final few weeks of season 1 here post reloaded update, we are going to see several new weekly challenges drop. We still have a couple of weeks to go before we can actually access the Coherence camo, and that'll wrap up the weekly challenges for season 1. And the alternatives to the TAC Evolver there are going to be the last few aftermarket parts that we've yet to see debut, so that'll also apply to some future weapon updates as well. Now, beyond our new weapons dropping, we also have some other things to look out for with the weapons update coming with season 1 reloaded. A lot of the main focus here is on weapon balancing, buffing and nerfing various different guns within Warzone. Now, Raven's already sort of hinted at what's to come here. They said last week tomorrow's Warzone update addresses balance concerns with the MTZ Interceptor alongside several other bugs. Obviously, that weapon balance update did not do much to the Interceptor. It added one extra shot to kill in some gunfights, but it's hardly a nerf. They then say next week's Season 1 Reloaded update will include a more comprehensive balance pass to weapons that we've been monitoring since launch. So initially here, you break this down into two different elements, basically. The long-range meta and the close-range meta, and what these standout weapons are for each of those. Basically, Raven's saying that the main standouts from each of those areas are what's going to be adjusted here, likely nerfed for the most part, and then, underwhelming weapons will be buffed here and there throughout upcoming weapon updates in Season 2, Season 2 Reloaded, so on and so forth. But the long-range meta, as I just alluded to, dominated by the MTZ Interceptor still. That nerf last week didn't really do anything, so 100% another Interceptor nerf is inbound. I know for a fact they've seen the feedback in regards to that last weapon update where it was extremely underwhelming, so the Interceptor hopefully is going to be put into a place where there's no reason to use it over other weapons definitively like it is now, where if you're not using an Interceptor, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. That said, there is a concern with the other marksman rifles in the category. If the Interceptor gets nerfed in some of the other options, like the KVD Enforcer, the LMS, the MCW 6.8, if those also don't get according nerfs, they're probably just going to slide into that next up mentality there, where if the Interceptor doesn't work, all right, now the MCW 6.8 has that broken TTK, or the LMS has that broken TTK. So that entire category has the potential to be very problematic, so I'm hoping to see several different adjustments there. Another big thing that's been very popular amongst the community in terms of weapon balance is the snipe variety. Obviously, in terms of true one-shot knocks, the Cat AMR is it. Sure, you can use explosive ammo on, the various MWIII bolt-action snipes, but they're super underwhelming, and using explosive ammo kills their chances for long-range sniping. The Cat AMR is the only option there, and it's very dominant at that, so I'm really curious to see if we have any adjustments made there. And then another weapon that's 110% on their radar is the Pulemyot, specifically with the conversion kit. Like, the base Pulemyot's decent, but it's also competitive with the Eradicator and the Bruin, which are strong for sure, but not like overwhelmingly good. The Pulemyot is just insane. It's no recoil, super aggressive for an LMG with 100 rounds, and its TTK is nuts. That's really going to be the go-to long-range weapon if, the Interceptor gets a hard nerf, the other marksmans get a hard nerf, then the Pulemyot's right there to take its place. So I would also imagine we're probably going to see some balances there. And then just in general, the assault rifle category, for the most part, very underwhelming outside of like the RAM and the RAM only. So hopefully we see some buffs there to bring those more in line with LMGs. Otherwise, we're just going to be shifting around to a different LMG meta, basically. And then in the close range, as I alluded to earlier, the Wasp Swarm dominates the SMG category. There's really hardly a reason to use anything outside of the Swarm if you're truly taking competitiveness into the situation and, factoring that in. The Swarm outguns everything in the first 8 to 10 meters, and then beyond that, it's super competitive as well. So that's got to be on the radar. That'll likely be receiving a nerf here. And then also the fire shotguns. These are dominant as well and sort of being spammed in the current meta, especially the Resurgence meta. The Haymaker with Dragon's Breath and the Riveter with Dragon's Breath. a little bit too dominant in those certain situations. And then another guaranteed fix that we have coming up here for the close range meta is in regards to melees. Certain melees, whether it is, the gun butt at times or just a melee mechanic in general, is getting 2 hit knocks when they shouldn't be. It should be, 3 to 4 depending on the level of health that an enemy has. So the increased melee damage that's allowing spam melees to be super dominant in the close range are going to be updated there and nerfed accordingly. So we've got some good adjustments potentially on the horizon for long range and close range that hopefully will promote a much more balanced meta. And obviously with the update, we're going to have the full detailed patch notes, and I'll be covering all of those right as the update goes out. So stick it here for that alongside everything else going on in the world of COD by hitting that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and drop a like on it on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.